Hello, welcome to the MMA Wales podcast, coming to you live from lockdown with me, Ricky Wright, James Wallis, and Brett Johns. Brett, of course, eating his spaghetti. We got a great show for you this afternoon or this night. We've got, first of all, the gangster himself, Mr. Oban Elliot, coming on. And then after that, we got the legend, the myth, Brett's dad, Andrew Burt. But before we bring Oban in, Brett, you've been busy with your cycling.
Oh, yeah. So basically we're on the last stretch. So I think I got about maybe 41 miles left. I've done I think it's like 956 miles. So I've got 4 days to do 40 miles, which is which will be absolutely fine. But
you've been doing about that a day now.
You are?
You've been doing that much a day now?
Yeah, I done a little bit this morning. So
yeah, but what did you say? You was doing 30 odd miles a day or something on average?
Yeah, averaging 32 miles a day. So because I when I started off, I did a lot more. So like I only needed to do 32 one day, and I do 39, and I just I knew that the home straight I could do easier days. So today now I done 22 miles. I'll probably do 22 tomorrow morning. And then I got one more day then, and I would have completed it. But I said to the guys, I'm going to put a post up on my Instagram saying, thank you everybody for the support. Finally happy to finish the cycle. And my next post is going to be static bike for sale.
So Brett, anyone who wants to sponsor you, how can they go about there?
There's a link on my bio, on my Instagram. But
OnlyFans.
Also, the last few days, I'm gonna try and post a little bit more on my Twitter, Facebook, and then Instagram story. So, like I said, I'm happy with the money that's been raised already. I'm very thankful. But if anybody else feels generous and they want to donate, then I'm happy to let them do that. So, yeah, thank you everybody for the support, and it's going to a great cause. So I'm just happy in general, anyway.
So excellent work, guys, for Brett. He's been cycling 1,000 miles in May for NHS charities, including Velindre. Something started by Morgan Stardad, and it's a really good cause. So if you can donate, please do, guys. A great cause. I haven't donated yet, but I'm waiting for him to finish first. That's my excuse.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's bring on our first guest. Please welcome into the studio the hottest prospect in Welsh MMA, Mr. Oban Elliot. Oban-o!
Hello, boys. How are we doing?
There he is.
Can you hear me?
Lockdown.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, how's it going, boys?
Good, mate. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Are you coping with lockdown?
It's same shit, different day, isn't it? Really, it's not the best, but we'll get through it. I don't think it'll last much longer, to be honest, with everything that's being lifted and
it's easing off. We hope. Are you motivated to train on your own, or you struggling?
Yeah, no, I'm still training at least five days of the week, and yeah, it depends what I do on the weekend. I'll do like a bike ride on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, but I'll have one day off, maybe 2 days off every week. But I've kept up training hard since it happened, really.
Yeah, it's hard to stay motivated when you used to having teammates, etc., and a coach shouting at you, but
yeah, it's
exactly.
I've trained all my life, either with the boys or I've done bits on my own anyway. So it's not too much of it's nothing I'm not used to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and obviously you stuck to your diet.
Well, not really, no. No, what are you trying to say? Do I look fat or something?
No, they would.
No.
Not trying to say you look fat, but the middleweight division can watch out.
No, they can't. No, the thing is, right, boys, I make 70 kilos training every single day, eating barely anything. So as soon as I can eat like any kind of normal human being, the weight just goes on like that. I think when I was 18, 19, I was naturally weighing about 85 kilos anyway. So
yeah,
I'm 22 now. Yeah, I'm
It's
22
handy when
now.
your coach doesn't weigh you in a gym, innit? You know?
You are?
It's handy when your coach isn't weighing you every week.
Yeah, I don't even know what I weigh, to be honest. I'm probably about 86, 87 at the moment.
That's
Get
all
away
good.
with murder.
How long do you
Brett.
reckon in this lockdown then?
Well, everything's getting a lit. They made an announcement that the Welsh government said it's professional sports people can resume training. Did you see that?
Yeah, we need to know more about it, don't we?
Yeah, it's pretty vague, and I think you got to do it in like a social distancing kind of setup thing. But
Which is fine
no,
if
I
you
don't
do
think it'll be-
tennis.
yeah, it's no good for us, is it? But I don't think we'll be much longer to go. I think we stuck it out. It's June next week, isn't it? So
Yeah, we don't.
whatever. I'm not fussed. If we don't fight this year, it is what it is. I was gutted at the start, but I just took it on the chin now.
Which is fine if you do tennis.
Yeah. I'm not fussed. If we don't fight.
Why could I hear you repeat?
Oh, sorry, it
What's
was
that?
my fault.
boys?
Yeah, Ricky.
Brett, tell us what you're eating, Brett.
You are?
Tell us what you're eating.
Is that the cheesecake from earlier?
No, I wish. 250 calorie noodles, and chicken. Yeah, life is great in lockdown. Everybody else
He's got-
be happy eating whatever they want.
He's
and
got
I'm
the
eating
he's got the hope of
stuff.
UFC Fight Island, though, isn't he, Brett? He's
Yeah,
he's
but
gonna keep his weight down, isn't he?
Did you know? Did you know I found out where Fight Island is?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Just off the coast of Tenby.
No way. St. Catherine's Island.
I'm just saying. I heard rumors. That's all.
as long
Call
as
the island.
I put a KJF first.
I think everybody seems to think that this island has got palm trees and everything, but in fact it hasn't. It's just got monks on it.
Yeah, I don't know why it's all palm trees, isn't it? It ain't gonna be anything like that.
Call the island.
Oban,
It's all called the island.
did the Cage Warriors announce dates though?
Yeah, August. August the 15th, I think. But that's dependent on whether Graham said if gyms are open, then the cards go ahead. But if the gyms aren't allowed to be open, then they won't put the card on. So
It all depends how. Like, I'm surprised they put dates out. Maybe they were trying to make a statement.
I don't know why they did either.
But it all depends how long before. I mean, some people will fight 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but most want at least 6 to 8. You know what I mean?
I'd be right on about 4 weeks, but obviously I wouldn't be taking a lightweight fight on 4 weeks. That's the thing. I'd need at least 8 weeks to get the lightweight, I think, to make it health. To make it without killing myself on there, like.
Yeah,
6,
it
8
is a big
weeks.
factor when you want to get to the weight, because I would say that the next weight up is a lot heavier at 77, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm all right with that though, because I mean I'm still probably 10 kilos away from that now.
Yeah.
So I'm not small in 77 either.
Oh, we lost Brett. So guys, I know Graham Boylan put on his Instagram earlier that he's been training in his gym.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu. So I don't know what that's about. Like whether
Where's he live?
in
Is he in California or
Where's his gym?
he tagged it in
in
MMA clinic, Buckinghamshire, Bucks, in MMA clinic. So I'm assuming that's in the UK. I don't know under what circumstances, but if they're doing it in England, I mean, it could be. It won't be long before.
Yeah, the UK follows suit, won't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, boys. I don't know. It's and we're not. He haven't said anything to anybody who's got. Well, he hasn't said anything to me. I don't know any other Cage Warriors fighter who's been informed of any updates or anything like that. So yeah, your guess is good as mine.
Like, if you think about it, by them announcing dates, it gives fighters hope as well.
Yeah.
For you now, just not.
And I think he's just keeping certain fighters fit as well.
Yeah.
People might get out with sleep or whatever.
For you to know that date and not do your cardio work, for example,
Yeah,
is silly. And then you can't turn around and say, "Oh, I didn't know because he's announced dates.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
perhaps
the thing is with
you guys to be
me
ready when the gym's open. Yeah.
just for speaking for me, I think for me to get to 70, Brett knows the crap. Me getting to 70, it's like
him getting 51.
I'm not going to be doing that.
Let me go to
If
57.
I fight. Yeah, it's like I'm not going to do that based on an if.
No.
I'd rather just commit to a 77 fight because it's a big old cut. Like it's a lot of sacrifice. I cannot afford to slip up once along the way at all within 8 to 10 weeks really.
How old are you, Oban?
Yeah.
22.
Yeah. Totally agree.
How long do you want to stay lightweight?
Well, I know I can do it, but I just need. Well, like today, for example, I've had a day off. My knee's playing up today, so I've had a day off. I've had a day off training. I can already, if I take one day, I can feel myself filling out straight away. I don't need anything different. I just fill out. I think my natural way. My head. I've always had a big head.
You feel heavy, I said already. The day
Speaking
off.
No. I do. Man's nut doesn't get any smaller, no matter how many split screens there are. Coming from him. Coming from him. Yeah. No, it's I'll stay at 70 as long as until I miss weight. That's what I've always said. So yeah, I'll be at 70 for
not like me,
foreseeable. No, not like you, Brett. No, yeah. Because I've always done it pretty healthy as well. I've always been pretty OCD about it. So I don't think I will miss weight. Like for the Ebervale card, I was like 77 kilos 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Which is
right,
normally I'm normally 77 kilos on the Monday and I go from there. So yeah. I was way ahead of schedule there.
Good. Anyway, off weight because obviously it's a touchy subject of the country. Obviously you want to get a fight or two at least in this year.
Yeah.
You were matched against, was it Luther?
Sean Luther, yeah.
Yeah, I like that fight.
I do. Yeah, I'm me. I've been calling all these names out, and I've said I want to fight him, I want to fight him, I want to fight him. But all it's taught me is, it don't matter who it is. I'll fight Luther. I'll fight. I don't really care because, especially in Cage Warriors, all these boys I'm calling out, I'm a bigger star than them. So why would I? You know what I mean? So I've gone off the point of calling people out now because it's not one of them have come back. And then I say to these boys, I'm calling him out. And then like, who's that? Oh, I'm calling him out. Who's that? And that's all it's taught me. It's like, oh, well, why would I be calling out somebody that nobody even knows who they are? Yeah.
But it gives you that edge as well. You've got your personality and people like it.
So, the gangster.
Yeah. Whatever happens because of it, they're in your mouth and your ears. So,
Yeah, I think I'm just looking at the model, especially, and this is I think I said to Carl a couple of weeks ago, whatever. Dana White ain't gonna know the difference between Sean Luther and Donovan Desmay, or Sean Luther and Mehdi Black. What's he called? You know what I mean? He ain't gonna know the difference. He just
knows more than maybe he knows more than we let him. I mean, I don't know. I know what he's saying, but I mean, I think Luther. I've known Sean a long time. Like he fought Rory, as an amateur before you were even fighting. I think So
I was probably in sixth form or something.
Yeah. So to be fighting someone like that, I think it was a good fight. So I don't.
I mean,
it happens.
I remember him fighting Mason at Cage Warriors 87. I remember watching that from the crowd.
Yeah.
No,
he's
been. I thought that I had my second ever amateur fight, and I was watching that fight.
Yeah. No, he's been around
a while.
It's a good little snap.
So Ben, you were just saying that you would take a fight at 77 kilograms if it was short
Yeah.
notice. Is there anyone in that division you'd like to fight if given the opportunity?
I can't think of the boys in there off the top of my head.
Looking at them.
Again, I can't. Yeah, I can't honestly say that I got a particular name for you at either the weights anymore. I just think it really doesn't make a difference.
I think, yeah, I think
I honestly,
concentrating on yourself more is what you're trying to say.
yeah. But it's
Right.
like I was always concentrating on myself before, but I think I just wanted what I wanted was a fight where, where he's say a high enough level where he's going to stand in front of me and keep his shape and look and be neat and tidy, where I can put 1, 2, 3 rounds together where I can really show what I can do. And I think you're only going to get that if you give me one of the top end boys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all of my amateur career, bar one fight, I think every fight lasted like a minute long. Apart from the Josh Hudson fight, everyone was like a minute long. So I remember making a point in the Brett Hassett fight. I wanted that fight to be a decision, just to get a feel of the 3 5-minute rounds. But then I finished that in the second round, and then my 2 fights before that had been 2 minutes. So, and I don't really, and I said this before, I don't really understand how these. That's probably my worst. I'm still, I'm still in the dressing room for the first 2 minutes, the first round of sparring. I'm always pissing about really. So I don't understand why.
I mean,
how I've had so many first round stoppages.
But it is a big thing as well. I mean, like obviously, you'll be relieved once you get a few rounds out. It's. But
yeah.
like,
What do you
I've
mean
had
now?
sports, like boxing, kickboxing, and stuff. Sometimes, like you'll have fighters who'll make sure they get the rounds in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
With
definitely.
With MMA and it being such a finishing sport, you don't want to take the risk of his head to get it done.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing as well. And I'm not really on the kind of money where I'm going to put a 3-round display on. Do you know what I mean? Where I couldn't take a risk. I'm just going to get in there and do the business, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's getting to that point now where I'm like, I'm 22 now. I don't know why people go calling it saying that's so young. I want to be in the UFC. I'd go in the UFC now. I think I'm ready for the UFC now.
You're not too young.
Yeah.
It's plenty of time.
Yeah. I suppose so. Yeah, but
I think it's just that we've seen a rush before, But
yeah. I don't want to rush anything, but then again, I do. I'm just eager to get things prop. I want to. Yeah. Carl said it to me the other day on the phone. He said, "No one's even seen you fight yet. People have just seen you beat people up," which I think is fair enough. Nobody's even seen me properly fight yet.
No, I'm like, as I say, it's your job to be eager to get in there. If you were doubting it, then it'll be stupid.
Exactly.
A question from Kai Evans, if you want to read.
Yeah, go on. I used to think you were a striker, but now you're taking people down as subbing it. What's your favorite striking or grappling? Striking, 100 1,000,000%. I've done that since I was about 7 years old. It's just that how the fights play out now and then. I think with James Lilly, prime example, the game plan was if he touched glove and took a step back, I'd have boxed him. But if he touched glove, planted his feet like he did, I looked at him. He looked at me like a pit bull, and then he cut me 2 on the side of the head twice, 2 big hooks. The game plan was if he stood still, take him down, and that's just how it happened. The same with Brett Hassett as well. He comes swinging at me. It's just how they play out sometimes.
But they're both strikers, I suppose. Brett Hassett, like obviously we know James is a boxer, but Brett Hassett's gym is, I've known them a long time, and they're very much a striking gym. But he puts his shots together well for MMA.
I watched him fight Mason, and he battered him, didn't he?
Well, he put it on Mason early. Mason took him down and tapped him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Brett went for a guillotine. Honestly, Mason will probably, I'm sure Mason will tell you that himself. Mason lost every second of that fight, apart from the Kimura.
Yeah, well,
that's what made me think like, whoa, this Brett's pretty good. Like,
yeah, like it's that southpaw thing as well. It takes you a while to get used to him. It's awkward, and he's in your face anyway. So again, it's good It's a good question from Guy. It's that's the whole idea of MMA. People are more thinking of like, oh, what's he thinking?
Yeah.
Well, it was the idea.
Yeah, well, that's it. With whether it's striking or grappling, I mean, I'm MMA fighter traditionally will do more grappling training than striking training, just purely on time. Because it'll be like you sparring and there's a lot of grappling in the spar, and then you'll probably have one striking class a week.
Depends where you go as well,
wrestling. Yeah.
I mean, it depends what gym you go to. Because
definitely. Well, I'm lucky because I get a full. I'm with Gary Lockett once a week. I've obviously got the Muay Thai class with Crew Heen.
Do you get a spar with any of Lockett's boxers?
No, I've never sparred him yet. I can't wait to spar him. But, there's a few because I'm quite thick that I'd probably be sparring the bigger, but he's got a lot of light boys that are really, really sharp. But I don't see many boys my size down there really.
I feel like Meredith, around about your size.
Chris Jenkins, I'm not sure how big he is, but he's
much smaller than you.
Is he smaller? Yeah. Yeah.
I
think he's always wearing about 10 sweatsuits when he's down there. I think that's why he looks pretty big.
He's more Brett size, I think.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But he's sharp. He's very good.
Yeah. They are. No, I learned. I can't believe how much my boxing's come on since training with Gary. I thought I could box before. He made me feel like a novice.
It's quite hard training the individual striking acts and putting them together. Obviously, no. And boxing, and they're completely different. Since I was 7, I've been doing martial arts somewhere or another. Taekwondo was my first one, and since then I've been that's what I've always loved. And the way I always looked at MMA was it's like a kickboxing fight where you can cheat, or like a boxing fight where you can cheat. Do you know what I mean by that? So if you can't get the bet. If say you're boxing someone and you can't get the jab off, he's out jabbing you. You can chuck a kick in there and be like, "Oh, confuse him," and then jab him. Do you know what I mean? You can almost. It's like a boxing fight where you can cheat MMA. If you think about it, that's the way I look at it. Anyway. Good way of looking at it. Well, all right. So obviously, with the boxing, you're on the front foot, leaning on it, with the Muay Thai leaning on the back. We need to be somewhere in the middle. This is hard to find.
It is hard. That's what makes it the art. It is, doesn't it?
When we were talking about Brett Hessett tonight, and obviously the name Mason Jones popped up, and that name and your name like you don't live far apart. You're not far behind him in terms of fights and popularity as well. You're both pretty popular guys. How does it feel to constantly be named alongside Mason for a potential fight, especially? I mean, if you guys were to fight, it'd be the biggest fight between two Welshmen ever outside of Jack versus John.
Yeah,
that was in the UFC. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's flattering in a way because obviously he's top of the tree, isn't he? But it's been a weird one because it started out of it really started kicking off on the Cage Warriors, the last one down in Cardiff, because like all of my lot said, why is he the main event when Oban should be the main event? And then it all sort of spiraled like that. But to be attached to Mason in that way, I think it's like calling me ready for title contention 3 fights in, and that's the only way I look at it. There's nothing personal between me and Mason. I haven't got anything against him at all, but as far as being attached to any kind of big fight like that is flattering, and it don't really surprise me either. I think I could beat them
because you've always been a confident guy, and Mason is one of the most confident guys around as well. Like, so I think that's what makes it such a good fight. Yeah. None of you will have any doubts that you could beat the other at all.
No, when you look at it like that, I've always made the argument: why aren't we sparring each other? Why aren't we training together? Do you know what I mean? But it's one of them, isn't it? You know, I've asked him a couple of times. He's kind of palmed the idea off. So it don't bother me.
it don't bother me in the slightest. I got plenty of good training partners. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If me and him have to get it on, that's fine.
So let's talk about your training partners. I mean, you recently moved from your old gym in Bristol to now Show MMA. How did that come
Yeah.
about? Is there any
Well-
beef with the old gym or?
No, there's no. I just finished uni up there. I went to university, and then there was nothing left for me in Bristol. Really, I wasn't going to live in Bristol for however many thousands a month it is to pay for a house to rent up there or whatever. So no, that was always my plan to move back to Merthyr after uni anyway. And I had an academy. I fought on an academy show, met Shaky, and then I'm good friends with Jack Tucker. And then I just sort of kind of just become a friend of the gym. And then it was just the most logical option for me then.
And you're training with some top guys there. How was it like training with like guys like Jack Shaw, Jack Marshman?
It's brought me on no end. I thought it was good before, and then it's just the rate of improvement. Well, all of us, but for me in particular, all the boys will say it. I went there. I wasn't much of a grappler. I was just an athlete. There weren't much technique to my wrestling or jiu-jitsu or anything like that. So I've just come on leaps and bounds since going up there. I'd recommend anybody within an hour to at least pop up and have a look what it's about up there.
Well, when I used to train, Shaky was the only coach that like actually trusted me that I could fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shaky said it was good. I was like, well, if I'm fighting with Shaky, I'll have a crack. And I missed the gym banter up there. There's no gym like it around.
No, it's not at all. No. Of course, it's a brilliant gym, and we've got. It's more just. I wouldn't say anyone could walk in there and do well, because it's got to come to a coach and a fighter's relationship, I think. And it just so happens all the boys in the gym, in my gym, we'll just get on like an house on fire. Everyone's got like Shaky and Carlo. They won't just treat us like Tank. Like Shaky doesn't just go around treating us like Tank. Do you know what I mean? Shaky's got his relationship with Tank, which is because it's not like a father-son thing. It is like a coach-student thing on the mat, and then he's got a set relationship with me. Then he treats Marshman differently. Then he treats Horse in a certain way. Then Peaky in a certain way. So it's just that I think that as far as like they're like role models in the same sense as well. I think that's why they're such good coaches. Like
I think they lead from the front as well, because the guys have been there and done it. They're not just guys who say they can do it, and they've been tried and tested for years. So,
and there's no political bollocks with them either. And that's the I don't know what term like I don't want to say the cancer, but that's what's a horrible part of MMA gyms. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Wally? Don't you? People are like that, or they're just making it's just a money scheme for them, and it just kills fighters' enthusiasm a lot.
Yeah, but it's nice that you can just leave it at the door and crack on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. So, should we have a look at some of the questions for Oban, Rick? Or?
Yeah, I got a few questions. One from Luke Jones.
What did I study at uni? Business and management.
Do you pass?
Allegedly. Yeah, I passed. Yeah. Do
you have a graduation and everything? And
I had I had the cap and gown and everything. I scraped the pass, man. But that was it. Yeah.
Are you ever going to use your degree?
I don't plan on doing it now. No.
Any others, Rick? I don't know.
Yeah, plenty.
Hi, Oban. In ideal situation, who would be your next fight to enhance your pathway to achieve your goal? Right, an ideal situation would be if you're asking me, it'd be fighting the champion. But if you're asking my manager, he'd be saying Luther or Desmond. So yeah, that I want to get to the UFC and be a UFC champion. So in an ideal world, I'd actually skip the queue and go straight there. But
it's a good answer.
We got a question from Sweden, Reza Patterson. Guys, I want your opinion now that Colby Covington has left ATT. Where will he go next? Will gyms want that character in a gym? I think he's planning on starting his own gym.
I think with Colby, I doubt he's like that on the mats.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he's a real discipline. I bet he's a real disciplined guy on the mat. We all know he's a dickhead, but I mean,
he's trying to be. He's trying to be.
It's all for. He's like Henry Cejudo. You know what I mean? I don't know what they've been watching the last 20 years, but you see boys. They're older than me, and but you see boys like putting this act that we've got it easy. We're not like Muhammad Ali where he's coming in and he's starting it all himself. We've got it easy. We can look at the likes of Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor, Chael Sonnen, we can Mike Tyson. We can look at the characters of fighting sports and base our stuff off them. But then we got it easy, and they're still getting it. Like they're still coming across like idiots, aren't they? Let's be fair.
Some of us gotta reflect your personality as well. You know what I mean? Like Henry Cejudo, he said, "Look, I am just a cheesy guy."
Yeah, he is though. I don't mind it.
They always say Conor is that way. You know what I mean? They say when he's sparring, he chops into his mate who he's sparring with and stuff.
Yeah.
It's gotta reflect your personality.
You can't. I don't know why people force any bravado or anything like that. Come on, boys. Christ.
Hang on. He does a lot of good questions. Did you choose MMA before uni or vice versa? So.
Before you. Oh no, MMA's been the goal since a little kid, 10 years old, when I figured out what it was.
You done the uni thing as a backup first, like Jack Shaw, I suppose.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. Yeah, it was just I got through my GCSEs, did well. I thought, I could do my A levels here, and then I dropped out my A levels, did like an electrician course for a week. I thought, what am I doing here? I've just passed my A level first year, so finished my A levels. I didn't think I'd pass them, but then I passed them, and I thought, fucking hell, I'll apply for uni. And then I applied for uni, I got in. And then I had that same mentality going through uni. I just thought, if I pass first year, I'll do second year. If I pass second year, I'll do third year. If I pass third year, well, I blagged my way to a degree, and that's basically what happened.
So got another question from Boise Boy. Thoughts on Woodley versus Burns this weekend? You got any opinions on that?
I think that's a bit of a mismatch, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is that this weekend?
Yeah, I know. I only got announced the other day, didn't it? I think Woodley will clean him out, yeah. They're struggling for fighters in that division, aren't they?
Well, you were 77 at the moment, so give our boy Oban a call, guys.
Oh, I'd be
in there in a
heartbeat, boys. You know that. I'd be there in an heartbeat.
Question right off Luke Jones. I think I know the answer.
What question is it? Oh,
if not, what sport would you be doing? If not fighting, sorry, I was thinking MMA. I was going to say boxing.
Yeah, if not fighting, what sport would I be doing? Ooh, so can't. I'd probably be playing rugby. I was a pretty good rugby player. I'd probably be playing rugby. Yeah, that's it. It's not very exciting. That's pretty obvious. But what would I be doing? What sport would I be doing? Rugby, yeah. I'd be playing rugby. I love the banter with the boys with the rugby as well and getting on the piss every week. That's the good bit about rugby that you can't do in MMA.
How many pips and pie take it to the end, like?
Oh, yeah. And then you go around, nick your mates or whatever, and then, have a few. Oh, it was brilliant rugby. The atmosphere at the gym is like a rugby team. That's what's so good, I think.
Yeah.
But you just can't get on the piss in the gym every week, you know.
Right, and we got Andrew Burt, the legendary father of Brett Johns, waiting in the wings. So we're gonna say goodbye to Oban now and thank him once again for coming.
No worries, boys.
Anyone going to give a shout out to first, Oban?
Anyone give a shout out to all the boys in the gym, all my sponsors. There's no point naming them. Everything's been quiet at the moment. Oban Elliot on all social media platforms. Yeah, that's it, boys.
Brilliant.
Awesome. Thanks again.
Right, nice one, Rick. Thank you. Yeah,
Catch
nice
you
one,
later.
Wally. I'll see you soon, mate. Ta, boys.
Top man.
That was Oban Elliot, and got another great guest on, a legend of the Welsh martial arts scene, not just mixed martial arts, but martial arts in general. Like every time, if you went to any of Brett John's earlier fights, he was always a cage side making all the noise, and Brett was like, would listen to every single word he said. So let's bring him on. Welcome to MMA World Podcast for the first time ever, Andrew Burt.
Good
Hello.
evening, gentlemen.
There he is.
How are we?
We good. How's
Excuse
things?
the act. Excuse the act.
It's all right.
Lockdown.
Lockdown. Surprised you're not wearing a mask as well. Right, he's gone.
He'll come back now. It's that
Like
West.
father, like son.
Yeah, it's that. As soon as you go past Swansea, you struggle with Wi-Fi. So we got Brett in Connexley, we got Andrew in the Bont. But I was sort of feeling sorry for Brett then as well, Rick, that he wasn't there to defend himself.
Yeah. Oh, and here he comes. Here he comes. Bring him back in.
Technology don't work with me. Me and technology.
Once you go past Swansea, you just struggle with the Wi-Fi, yeah?
That's technology. I got my tea there.
I'm just saying, I feel a bit sorry for Brett because he's not here to defend himself.
Yes. Let the fun begin.
So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Tell us something about Brett, because his connection's dead, but he is watching, but he can't defend himself. So let's drop some Brettisms in there.
How to go? Oh, so many. First of all, let me tell you when he told me he wanted to do MMA. Like I've done judo an awful lot longer than I haven't been doing judo. So I'm a bit of a purist in that respect. Judo is the only way. Didn't see nothing else. And Brett was doing very well at judo. He thought he wasn't, but he was. He was knocking on the door. The problem we had two of the best under 60 kilo players in the country training in the same club. Brandon Dodge, Kyle Davis, and he was Kyle had uphill. He was uphill struggling for poor Brett. He told me he wanted to do MMA. I said, but Brett, you don't want to do that because Brett's such a nice kid. He's the nicest of all my kids by a country mile. You don't want to be hit in the face, but it's not very nice. He never had a fight. Never had a fight on the street. Nothing at all like that. Too nice. And he started doing MMA. Well, we found somewhere for him to go. He went there. And I've been eating my words ever since.
It's a bit
Humble pie tastes quite nice in that respect.
Yeah,
I was pleased to be wrong.
Yeah. And he always wanted to do MMA, I suppose. And
That's
it's
it.
always
It's something which I never even looked at, to be honest with you. The early days, it was quite barbaric. And in some of the smaller shows, it was even worse. Do you know what I mean? I've seen more fights going on in the crowd than in the bloody cage.
Definitely adrenaline.
That tin shed down in Clefley, remember it, Rick? Another time, man, I was only speaking to Brad about this the other day. We had mini mortars from. So I took him up the field, and they were going back and forth in the field. And there was one particular dip in the field, right? Little dip like that. Brett, right at the bottom of the field, Brett went into it. He flew, he took off. Him and the bike just went in orbit. He landed on the floor, hell of a mess. He got up, he sat up, he looked around to see where we were, and he went, "Wah!" I went, well, I couldn't go to him because I was laughing too much. He wasn't hurt at all, right? It was just the fact that he sat up, looked around where we were, went, "Wah!" It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Even his brother Ashley was laughing at the time with that, and he was a lot younger. He was 6.
How hard do you find watching Brett fight?
Say again?
How hard do you find it watching him fight?
It's very, very, very difficult because I'm not there. I can't do nothing about it. Do you know what I mean? Even more so now because I'm back in a crowd. Do you know what I mean? Which is even worse. It kills me, to be honest with you. You know, I like to be there. I like, you know, any problems he has mentally.
Yeah.
I was on hand. I was there. I was in the dressing room. Do you know what I mean? I could deal with anything come up straight away. But now I'm so far away from it, so far removed, and it's hard work. It is hard work.
Because he does. Anyone might be saying he does battle demons sometimes because he wants you to hear him tell you that it's all right.
Yeah.
I suppose him having you there all of his early career with the judo and stuff, you know, it must have been great for him, you know, to have you there. I don't know.
My voice as well. My voice carries a lot. It's very low. It's very deep, and like when I'm coaching, you get used to that, and you hear it, and when you're fighting, I'll say a word. They can hear it. They don't stop and look around. They do whatever because I can see things they can't. But it's because they're used to my voice as well. Because my voice can carry across the room because it's so deep. Strangely, I don't know what that is.
So tell us a bit about yourself, how you got into judo, and would have you, if MMA was as big as it was back when you were active, would have you given it a go?
Without a shadow of a doubt. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You spoke about it before.
Where do you think Brett's got his chin from? It's anything there. I started judo when I was 13, so I was quite late coming into the sport. But I'm from Pencoed, and at the time, Pencoed, the only thing we had was Cubs and Scouts. There wasn't even junior football or junior rugby or nothing back in the day. There was nothing. And all of a sudden, the judo club came to the village. Oh, that was it. I'm going to be Bruce Lee now. What's this? And that was the end of me. I was addicted, and I got quite good, and then I had an injury, and then that was the end of that.
Who was your? Because you used to train in Portalbert as well,
Train down Lido. That's the Welsh team training in Lido. So you go with the bodies there.
Because like back in the day, like the Oban Lido teams for judo, karate,
right there.
We could like me and Andrew have spoken about different people. Obviously, my coach Andy Morgan was in the Oban Lido karate team, and then you had the Reynoldses. The judo team of I remember.
Richie Noblet was there. Come on.
Yeah, Richie Noblet.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Who started the judo? Like who was your main coach and stuff? The judo.
My main coach, my sensei. Then he's still alive, but he's terrible diabetes, so he's really, really struggling. He doesn't go out at all. But like he's still my sensei, a guy called Mike Bowen in Bridgend. He never did a huge amount himself, but he was a brilliant coach. And you know, for me, he was amazing. He was brilliant. Yeah. You know what I mean? As far as I could see, the guy could walk on water because he'd say things to me while I was out there fighting, and I'd do them and I'd win. It was simple as that. How do you do that then? I didn't know that. Do you know what I mean?
I think a traditional martial artist like yourself, that guy will never do wrong. Do you know what I mean? He's my coach to me. Whatever he tells me, no, I haven't seen him in months. You know, I'm the same now.
I'm trying to argue with him, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, but I was obviously there's nothing judo wise on in the minute in the bump, but how was it before the lockdown? How was the team?
Oh, very good. Very popular. Our club is doing really well. We've had to move though, unfortunately, because the rent was a ridiculously large amount. The guy was just trying to make, you know, we were busy, so he thought he'd make some more money, and $2,000 a month for rent is just not good enough. So we're in a scouts hall now, so we've had to take a hit on numbers, understandably, but you know, we got good numbers there. We got some really good players there. A few Welsh squad players, a couple of British squad players. We got one lad. I do a lot with disabled judo as well. We got one lad who won the European Championships last year. You know, he had nothing.
What's his name?
Kyle Jones. He won the specialties European Championships, and do you know what I mean?
Before he did
judo, he had nothing. You know, he'd go to the special school and come home, and that was it. Like, he started judo with me, and then, well, he'd been all over the world. Do you know what I mean? And it's brilliant to see. He's a different boy now. He's got a life now.
I mean, and that obviously means a lot to you. I mean, for you know, to see these guys, even sometimes just to see them not on the piss and in the gym is what you know what I mean? But make strides in themselves is brilliant. That's the traditional martial art about, you know. But,
let me ask you, what do you find easier to train? A young guy who's like a bit of a little shit, or a very well educated kid?
A little shit.
Yeah, they make the best fighters.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
What you find, you know, if you've seen this as well, but is the kid that goes well is either one of two. The one that the parent takes them everywhere, and they'll do well just by the fact that they turn it up and get experience. Yeah. Or the kid that's a bit wayward, a bit streety, bit of a tyke. I love them. One, it's a challenge, and two, you get the best out of them. You know, and you can just wind them up like a little rubber doll inside of the man, and they go, and they come back to it.
You can't get them off. Then once you've got them kids, I mean, and sometimes it's the ones that haven't had it easy.
Exactly.
They haven't had it easy. So the hard battle of getting somewhere doesn't bother them as much. Doesn't bother them as much. And then the grit is there, the grind, you know. But
you know, the fighters, they're in all sports fighters, are they? You know, you can tell. And yes, they are the easiest to train, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, I started late as a kickboxing, but I think with judo, like, to be taking them bangs from an older age, or to start taking them, like, you see guys when they're older, they've done judo years, and they get slammed and stuff, and it's something they've been doing all their lives. You know, an adult to start judo, you don't see many lads do. Do you know what I mean? It's a very tough sport. It's hard to do it. It is. You know, we spend 20 minutes bouncing off the floor in the beginning of a session, just throwing ourselves onto the floor, practicing how to land all the time. Yeah. And you've seen this with Brett. Brett can get bumped over and just get up as if nothing's happened. Do you know what I mean? You take Thai blogs of the people do that, they won't get up. Do you know what I mean? They don't like it.
That's what I'm saying. Because getting hit is one thing, right? Because I know, like, not everyone likes getting hit, but you know, it hurts in your face, or it hurts in your ribs, or it hurts when you get kicked in the leg. But when you're getting thrown in the mat, you breathe in it. To get used to that from an older age is hard, and I've seen people try to do it.
I remember once I was fighting in the Welsh Open, and I was fighting a Scottish lad, Rod McLean, his name was, tall lad, because all my boys were a lot taller than me, because I was 95 kilos, and at 95 kilos, I was 6 foot plus. But anyway, I fought Rod, and I threw him in this huge throw. He landed on the floor, and I landed on top of him, but I landed on top of his fist like that, my sternum. But I was unconscious on top of him. I'd won. He had to push me off. Did I win? And that was me throwing him. So I was doing a throw and I still got hurt. So it landed hurts. But like my email is Ukemi Master, and Ukemi is to break fall, to land. And I'm always doing. I still do break falls now. Do you know what I mean? I still throw myself and get thrown. You get used to it. You do. And as you said, starting at the ladder, it takes a lot longer to get used to.
It's very difficult. Because you see, like, obviously, I think probably wrestling's the same. But you see people start in sports like BJJ. People start that from an older age. But you're not getting thrown as much. Or you can ease off and stuff. But the brute of judo, you know what I mean? You want to do judo, learn to break falls. So the first thing you've got to do is learn to break falls. So from the start, someone's throwing you, telling you, chuck your arms out. I mean, that step is hard enough on its own. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's not many kids.
To throw yourself to the floor, it goes against everything you've learned.
Yeah.
You're not going to jump on. No, no. Do you know what I mean? It goes against everything, but you got to do it. It's part of it.
Definitely. Oh,
Sure.
he's put.
Question here from Brett himself.
I think Brett's going to round you up, man.
I think he is. I can't quite read it. What did it say?
So, who wins in a fight, a BJJ fighter or judo fighter? Brett himself, he thinks a BJJ fighter would win.
Well, where does the fight start? Does the fight start on the floor? Does it start with one of them sitting down and the other one's waving their hands like, ooh, somebody's on the floor. What should they do now? You run over and kick him in the head as hard as you can. The fight starts standing up.
I think this is
every fight you see.
Yeah, I think this is the beauty of MMA though, because obviously the judo player knows there's a jiu-jitsu guy, so he's not going to get, he's going to do what he can not to get taken down. The same as if I fight a judo guy, a kickboxer, so if I fight a judo guy, he's going to grab him and take him down. I mean, that's why martial arts has evolved differently over the last 20 years than it was before, because of the tried and tested way of doing it with MMA,
as I said, I didn't like it at all. I didn't see much of it, to be honest with you, but it just wasn't for me. But the more and more I've been watching it, the more and more I've been getting into it. It's the contrast of styles. You got the grappler against kickboxer, you got the kung fu against tai chi. You know what I mean? And I like that contrast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that
it's
like chess. Do you know what I mean? It's like a game of chess. You have to see what happens. And this is why I think Khabib is just phenomenal. Because there's no stopping it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think as well, it's good to see the similar arts done. Like I like to see, for example, a boxer versus a kickboxer. I like to see. I don't like seeing the classic grappler striker fight anymore, because obviously at the top of the game they got to happen. But what I do like watching is wrestling versus judo. Like, and when obviously when they're well rounded, because the judo guys, when the wrestlers grab them, they always go for a throw. You know what I mean? So it's like that. It's like if someone punches me, I'm gonna kick up. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna punch.
Yeah. So but do you find then the level of kickboxing goes down to meet the MMA, or do you think the kickboxing is still there with the lower?
Yeah, it's like they say, what they used to say to Gracie's. When you got a black belt down, you get punched in the face, you get a brown belt. You get punched again, you get a purple belt. So it's like when you bring the different rules in. And that's why I like to see well-rounded guys, but with a background in something. So the judo guys. I remember watching a really good wrestler. They were bragging a wrestler, but he was in the UFC. I can't remember who they were. And then every time he grabbed the judo guy, he'd throw it. I was like, well, you didn't see that one coming. Do you know what I mean? It's like, grab a leg, I'll throw him from there. Because it's the relentlessness. So I just throw it. You grab, I'm going to throw. Again, styles make fights. It's great. But do you think?
And I think the fitness levels of grapplers is high. They go for hours.
Yeah, the warm up alone.
Brett can do 20 rounds and won't even blink. And literally, he's got that cardio. And I think that cardio is from the grappling, because you don't have a rest. Yeah. In boxing, you can stand back and have a rest, but in judo, you're holding on, man.
Like, yeah, exactly. You find places to have a rest in it. But I mean, do you think that judo has been showcased in MMA at a good enough level? Because obviously, like we've seen Henry Cejudo, the top level wrestler, went into MMA. Ronda showed us a lot of throws. You know what I mean? She was throwing people and armbar, obviously. Do you think there are certain top level judo guys that could go into MMA and be the next Henry Cejudo or Daniel Cormier sort of thing? I do think it has been showed yet.
We've brushed with it. It's been brushed with Ronda. That really lifted judo up. It really lifted it up, because Ronda's out there. She's doing the things she was doing. We got Kayla Harrison now. Have you seen anything of her? Kayla Harrison? She just won $1 million lightweight division. PFL, is it?
Yeah, PFL.
Double Olympic gold medalist. Judo.
Yeah.
Look out.
What's that? Where's that, Rick?
Kayla Harrison. MMA.
It's PFL. It's a Vegas promotion, and it's got the ring announcer from WWE, the girl one.
Right.
I can't remember her name, but she's on it. And Kayla Harrison.
A year-long thread where they win 6 fights and they get $1 million. There's 6 or 7, was it, Rick? Is it?
Something like
And
that.
she just won $1 million now. And she's frightening. She is frightening.
Like in judo, she's quite outstanding. She's the one to watch at the minute, or
in MMA. She just come on to MMA. I think she's either 5 or 6 or
Yeah.
And she's
I
like her work ethic. Yeah, I like her work ethic. Work ethic because she trains in things she doesn't do.
Yeah,
she doesn't do judo. She got that. That's where Ronda went wrong. Ronda thought that judo was better than everybody.
Yeah,
and she got kicked in the face. Simple as.
Yeah,
when you get kicked in the face, quite often you can't tend to do a lot.
I think when Ronda became a superstar in MMA, women's MMA wasn't where it is now, obviously. But
it wasn't a thing, was it?
You had fighting Ronda as the main event on a huge card on one fight. The fight before, you're having your debut on the undercard and nobody's watching. So it was like, I had one fight in the UFC, there was nobody there. Next thing, I'm fighting the biggest star in the UFC. So as she runs over to her, they're like, what's going on? And then they're on the back in armband. I'm not saying Ronda wasn't there, but it's like, she had that such mental advantage, for
definitely.
And all the others have been in big fights before and different things, and then they changed. But I think now the girls are fighting. It's not happening as much. They're fighting on the main card every time before they fight in the main event.
Let's be honest. 10 years ago, you'd look at the girls fighting, and you wouldn't look at the girls fighting, would you? Let's be honest.
It wasn't really.
Now you've got some big superstars. Shevchenko's sister's fighting, isn't she?
This week, is it?
Shevchenko's sister.
Yeah, she's quality.
She's quality. She's scary.
As I say, you look at them top girls now, and there's a handful of them in each division. Before before there was Ronda, and it was Cyborg couldn't make weight. So that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Ioana. We know Ioana by the first name now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't say her last name.
Let's check. Yeah.
Say it better than me.
No, but that's what's happened now. They've lifted women's MMA. Yeah, almost. Did I say it? As I is the man.
And it looks.
To be honest, I follow the women's scene way more than I follow the men's scene, because a lot of the men. That's obvious. Not for the reasons you think. I mean, with men's MMA, there's a lot of fighting journeyman and mismatches. And you get a lot of undefeated records in men's MMA. With women's MMA, they haven't got journey women to fight. They just got to go for it straight away. Every woman's fight is hard, and it's easier to follow because it's less of them. And it's easy to follow because, some of them are really pretty as well. But here we are. But I find women's MMA easier to follow, and because every fight is a real fight. There's no bum fights in women's MMA.
What's the girl that was on the same card as Brett in January now? They're talking, she's like the cowboy of, she's in the change rooms with us. She fought, she takes fights to short notice. Angela, no. I can't remember her name now, but she's like the only one that's just taking fights on short notice, and she's doing well. She fought last week. She's at the co-main event last week.
One of the glasses, is it?
Darkish.
Oh, I know the one.
Like she's like the first one that's really just taking fights at short notice. But I know she's doing well with it. But to tell a woman you got to fight in 2 weeks, they're like, no. Do you know what I mean? I'll do what they don't. And with men, it's like, yeah, I'll fight tomorrow. So I think the mismatches don't happen then because everyone's always at the camp, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Tell you what annoys me, especially with the UFC, is the ranking. There is none. They haven't got any ranking. They don't adhere to the ranking whatsoever. For instance, Brett, he's only lost twice. Number 2 and number 4.
Yeah.
Where's he ranked? Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
I mean, like he went up to 30. Like they've only got the 15 ranking, haven't they? The top 15.
Yeah.
But obviously, you could be 16 and nobody know your name. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, I think you're right. I mean, they should probably all be ranked, and everyone should be quite aware of the rankings. But
I want to jump up the ranks, then yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Because when I was a young fighter, I just looked at the top 10 and wanted to find my way up it. As a kickboxer. But and that's what you got to do. But as I say, but with such a big network of fighters, just having 15 names, and everyone else is under them, it isn't really right. I mean, it doesn't make it as exciting because, it's like someone could be, he's ranked 14th, he's not ranked. Well, people are like, nobody cares then. If you're like 14th and 18th, okay, they're quite close, But I agree with it. But as I say, it's probably
the police fights out of the bag because they money fights, etc. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that should be more of a ranking. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right, guys. Before we go, we got a question off Brett himself. Bit of a daft one, but I'll read it out to you now. Who would win in a fight? Brett Johns on Peds.
5 Brett Johns. 5 Brett
Johns on Peds, or 1 Khabib.
1 Khabib.
Is that something you talk about?
He just needs me in the corner for the one fight that I'll sort Khabib out.
Is Khabib someone you look up to as a fighter?
It's the ethos behind everything with him and the family and the way they train. It's the cleanest way to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We used to have a coach in judo, and he was up in Kendall. And you go up there, you spend a week up there, and you'd be running across some moors, lifting boulders about, and doing judo as well. And it was good, honest training. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the guy's been doing that since day one. And I used to wrestle with a bear as well. My bear was called Tiny Tim. He was blue and yellow. He was about that big. My little teddy bear. Called him Tiny Tim, right? Tiptoe through the tulips. There's one for you, James. Remember that one? Tiptoe through the tulips. That was sung by Tiny Tim. And that's why I called my Tiny Tim. Look at that. Look at that, man.
Hey, check out the air. That's the that's the best COVID hair I've seen.
It's a lock-in head.
Seen a few recently.
I've been a bit left out actually, but no facial fungus. Yeah. Everybody, you and Brett and Oban both had facial fungus.
Yeah. I think we're getting lazy. I mean, people are just about getting dressed in the morning these days, aren't they?
Thing is, I've never had a beard. I've never grown a beard. I got really sporadic growth. It's terrible. It's really bad. So for me to grow a beard, it looks ridiculous.
Anyway,
I mean, ridiculous.
Bertie, thanks for coming on. And when we're back in the studio as well, you definitely have to come into the studio with us as well. It's great to have you on. We've been saying it for about a year. So
before we leave, obviously they can't come to the gym at the minute, but can viewers find a Facebook page, social media page for your judo club?
We're on Facebook at Dragon School of Combat.
Dragon School of Combat. So if anyone wants to look up Dragon School of Combat in the Bond. Is it the Bond?
In the Bond, in Ponte de Leche, yeah.
Ponte de Leche Judo. Awesome. Thanks again.
Anyway, thanks for coming on, and sorry Brett wasn't yet.
Thank you, gentlemen. Much appreciated.
We'll see you soon. What number was that? Right? MMA.
Keep safe from there, guys.
Oh, thank you. I think it was 46. 46, 47, I don't know.
We should have said at the beginning, but who knows? Oh, he's gone.
You're also going to kick off now.
Two good guests, Rick.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we need Brett. We need to boost Brett's Wi-Fi or get him a new phone or something. But good times. I think are we gonna go for a fortnight's time again?
Well, we'll see. If anyone's got any suggestions for guests they want us to come on to the show, and there's a few names being thrown about. I'd love to get Aaron Aby on from North Wales. Such an amazing story. And if so, send your suggestions, guys, and we'll get them on as soon as we can. Thank you for tuning in to MMA Wales.
With this new format, we can get a few guys on in one, so it's not too much of a problem. It's good. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you next time.
Catch you later. Try, guys.